Hi everyone. It is still Wednesday and I'm in my jammies. It's late, but I thought I would read you guys a book before I went to sleep, and you can hear it tomorrow morning, or if you're still awake, which some of you might be, you can listen to it tonight. So this is Ferdinand the Bull, one of my favorite books. It takes place in a country called Spain. Some of you might be from Spain, or your families are from Spain. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. Do you like to smell flowers? He had a favorite spot by the cork tree. There he goes. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in the shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. That's his mommy. There's Ferdinand. Why don't you run and play with all the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she said. But Ferdinand would shake his head and say, I like it better here, where I can sit and just smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very, very big and tall and strong. Look at him now. He's a big boy. Well, he's not a boy. He's a bull. But he's a boy bull. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. And they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfight in Madrid. Madrid is the capital of Spain. That means it's the main city, a big city. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit just quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in funny hats to pick the biggest, the fastest, the roughest bull to fight in the bullfights of Madrid. Let's count those funny men in their funny hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. All the other bulls ran around, snorting and butting their heads and leaping and jumping. They wanted to be picked. They wanted to be the most ferocious. What's ferocious mean? Fierce. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. So he went back to his favorite spot under the cork tree to smell the flowers. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass, he sat right on a bumblebee. Ouch. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? Would you sting him? Yep, you would, and that's just what happened to Ferdinand. Ouch, says Ferdinand. That hurt. It made him jump up and butt his hind legs into the air. The 5 men saw him, and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest, fiercest bull of all, just the one for the fight in Madrid. Was Ferdinand really fierce? Think about it. He just got stung by a bumblebee. So they thought he was fierce. And they took him away to fight. Do you think Ferdinand likes to fight? I don't think so, but let's find out. What a day it was. Flags were flying and bands were playing. All of the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. Doo-doo-doo. Here comes the bull. First came the bandoleros with long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the piscadoros, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull to make him even madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? Who was it? Ferdinand. There he is. Do you think he's scared? He doesn't like to fight. Doesn't. What does he like to do? Tell me. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all of the bandoleros who were afraid of him, and the picadoros were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. They were afraid. Ferdinand ran into the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick out his horns. There he is. Do you think he's going to do that? What do you think? But not Ferdinand. When he got into the middle of the ring, he saw all the lovely ladies with the flowers in their hair. And he just sat down and smelled the flowers. He wouldn't fight. He wouldn't be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled the flowers. And the bandoleros were mad, and the picadoros were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off his red cape and sword. Come on, Ferdinand. Not Ferdinand. So they had to take Ferdinand home. There they go. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers just quietly. He is very happy. And that, my friends, is the end of my favorite book, or one of them, Ferdinand the Bull. I hope you have a Ferdinand in your life. I know I do. Well, anyway, so either you're going to listen to this in the morning or you're listening to this late at night. But have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon. We love you and we miss you. Check your emails. Mwah.